Good morning, guys. Welcome to this first day after Christmas. Friday the 26th. Usually it's like a half day or something. Today's a full trading day. So use Christmas and start middle of the week like that. So I hope you had a great Christmas and we're back in action, ready to get back in action again. So we have this day is probably going to be pretty light volume kind of a day. So far, we have like 39,000 on the ES. We have 50,000 in the micro ES. It's pretty light volume so far. So I'm not going to be expecting a huge market mover, but we have in the last few days had a pretty good Santa rally going. They did kick in late. I had to say, it came in very late. Hasn't been like a spectacular rally, but nonetheless, look at that. So we have been. This to me looks very much like a move out of the middle to the upside. We took out the highs. We are making new highs on the ES, and we are literally 10 points away, right now 20 away from hitting 7,000 on the ES. So we are in pretty good shape right now. So I think we can safely say that we're getting a little Santa rally going, and let's see if they can keep this thing moving. I would expect so. I would think that right now, if there were some selling coming in, it would have probably happened by now. The last few days of selling. But so Wednesday we had a half a day, closed early. Today's a full trading day. And if they close up today, I think we are in good shape to maybe even challenging that 7,000. That would be pretty good, right? Before year end, taking out 7,000. So I would start off on the long side in the market. I would look to buy weakness. Just be mindful. Light volume trading is always a little bit treacherous. It can easily be whippy and volatile if some big trades kick in. But usually you get reasonably not these crazy runs back and forth. You'll get probably a slow grind to the upside if it's going to be an up day or just a range bound tight kind of a range bound day if it's not going to go anywhere. Not looking at a major sell off or anything like that. So looking to buy weakness, 69 against 69.70s, 69.60s down to that 69.50s. If they trade below 69.50s, if they reverse that little overnight, little half day session we had, starts trading below that 69.50 level, we'll go back range bound. And on the way up, looking for shorts against the 69.80 and 69.90s for rotations down. A little bit of caution since we are in that potential Santa rally mode. Now, if you watch the last couple of sessions, it's been a slow grind, especially the half day. Man, that was a slow grind, but it was steadily to the upside. I did pop on a couple of trades on that day, but it's just like it's nothing, no loss. It's just a couple of small winners on that. But there was a steady grind, and you had the Nasdaq had a little bit more volatility to it, but the ES, if you got in that one and sat all morning, you would just see that thing ticking up. But it didn't go. I mean, it's like 30 points in a half a day, so it's not like a massive rally, but it was a pretty good slow rally to the upside. So we'll take that any day. So that's the ES starting off range bound with a bias to the upside. On the Nasdaq, a little bit more whippy in the on the Nasdaq back and forth. They didn't quite take off until a bit later. You can see how they had a little bit more volume here on the lower end of the range. They didn't quite break out the same as the ES did, but they are also right here. They have taken out the key thing for the Nasdaq though is they have taken out that four-letter ledge at the 850, 860 right now, and they're trading right above it. If they can hold that level, we'll be in pretty good shape. So we are almost in the move out of the middle to the upside on the Nasdaq. Yeah, it started, and if they can hold above this area, the upper edge, 850, 860 here, I think we are going to be in good shape to take it higher. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes on the Nasdaq in terms of seeing the Santa rally extending and getting more exciting. So staying on the long side on the Nasdaq as well. Just be mindful that we are right up against that 850, 860 area, and if this is just a probe above it, we may see them knock it down right below it again. That's going to be the key question for today. If they can hold above it, we'll stay on the long side. So at this point, I'm looking for potential shorts against that 880 and the 920, 930 level. Looking to buy against 840s, 780s down to the 730s for rotations up. I would think on the Nasdaq, if they trade below the 780s, I would take off the long bias. Pretty aggressive on that side right now. If they back off more than that, because remember, they are up against this edge. They just probed it higher, and they're holding right there, right above it. So if they take out the 840s and that 780s on weakness, I think we may look at the almost a retest failure at that point. So watching it, but you're going to stay optimistic still that we may have still an opportunity for this to keep going. So the last one I would look to buy against is that 730s, but I was shifting my bias already at the 780s for rotations back up again. Oh, sorry for taking off the long bias. So looking to buy against that 850 and the 780s for rotations up. Below 780s, taking off the long bias, going back range bound. Last buying opportunity against the 730s. Below that one, I think they have lost this whole turn into more of a retest failure, and not going to be able to take out the highs at that point. But if they do, we have a pretty good move here up to the 26,000. That could be a nice little run to the upside there. So watching that carefully, that could be, and the mode up here is actually at 26,080. So that's the tractor area right up there. So that's what we're looking at. So that's the Nasdaq, both ES and Nasdaq, Santa rally mode. The Nasdaq is in a key spot to take out that 4-letter ledge and hold above it. And if that can happen, I think we'll be in good shape. On the bonds, before we wrap this up, on the bonds, we are pretty much just kind of staying in a range. Nice little rally up here today in the morning, 14 up to 27. Nice little run up here. They're moving a little bit. They traded higher pretty much all that till half day, all day. And then they closed at the highs. A nice little rally at the very end, took out that the 20s and ran it all the way up to the 26s. That was also a little treacherous thing because that was a nice retest failure setting up at 20. And I was almost trading that thing and was watching it. And light volume days like that, after they gave you a hint, it ticked up a little bit, and I just didn't do anything with it. But that would have been a nasty loser, running right up here to the next level. Right now, though, it looks like the momentum is a little bit to the upside. It ran it down, hit reverse retest is 14, ran right back up here now in the session so far. And see how far they can take it. But I'm going to be watching that with a little bit of caution. So far, not a lot of volume going on the bonds either. So like 46,000 traded so far on the bonds. But starting off range bound, I would probably start with a slight bias to the upside on the bonds, just because it's been trading up a couple of days now. So looking to buy weakness, if anything, especially now that it looks like they're taking out the say 26s. So buying against the 26s, 20s, down to the 14s, 12 to 14s. Looking for short setups against the 116s, the buck, 16, 8 to 10, and 14 to 16 rotations back down. Now we could have a nice move to the upside here if they keep going. And if that's just a pro, because they just ticked up one tick above it, and they trade below that 26s, I think the range is pretty much going to be stuck right there. So we'll see how it develops, but I mean, at this point, that's range-bound trading is what's been going on the bonds. They're drifting higher, they're drifting lower, but overall, if you look at the bonds, they're pretty much right in here, in this area, going sideways, so they're not going anywhere right now. Just going building value in this low volume area. So tractor is up here at 17 and down here at the 14-16. So they're pretty much in the middle, filling out this little low volume area in the middle. All right, so that's the bonds. Starting off range bound, slight bias to the upside. It's not, right now, since they just up here retesting it, but if they can't hold on to this, it's going to be anyone's guess right now. But if they can't hold on and they trade down here below it, we're back range bound. All right. A very slight bias to the upside on the bond this morning. All right, so back to the ES and the Nasdaq, and let's see how this whole day shakes out. We light volume trading day after Christmas, so let's see if Santa is going to keep this little rally going. All right, guys, we'll wrap it there. So good trading, and I'll see you back at 11:30 for the next update. All right, guys, later.